Serbian war crime prosecutors have received new evidence that hundreds of Serbs had their internal organs removed and sold by ethnic Albanians during the Kosovo War. The UN document obtained through unofficial channels contains photographs of what are believed to be mass graves of the victims, according to reports. But Serbian investigators say some important pages are missing. Our correspondent Paul Slier reports.
Filmmaker Ninoslav Vangelovic is extremely frustrated these days. He's put his life on the line to show the suffering of the Serbian population in Kosovo, but fewer and fewer people want to listen. Until now, the West has ignored him completely, and the Serbian government would also prefer he keeps quiet.
We see that they have been killed and thrown. Now there is legitimate concern that some of them had been used as to take organs from their body and killed later on. But the thing is, what we do now in 2008, as far as that issue, we can only reconstruct. But what do we do today to make sure that the civilized solution for Kosovo crisis is going to be achieved?
Now, as everybody wants to just close the files, new evidence has emerged about what happened in Kosovo during what NATO calls its liberation operation in 1999. Reports suggest Serb war prisoners were taken by the Kosovo Liberation Army to the Kosovo-Albanian border, and in a place called Yellow House, their vital organs were cut out and sold on the black market. The Serbian war crimes prosecution has, through its own means, obtained photographs purported to show a nearby mass grave and a report about the fate of these kidnapped Serbs.
We have evidence that there was an operation room in that Yellow House. An UNMIC report that we got through our channels said they found a couple of bottles of penicillin there. There is not enough proof to say there was an operation room. From the report you can see there were some other medicines and containers for transporting organs. There are 9 pages missing. The investigation is on, and we are trying to find out what really happened.
The United Nations denies knowing about any of this.
Personally, I don't have any information about that report. It may very well be an internal report. You would really have to go to UN headquarters to ask about, but you know, they won't be necessarily able to diverge anything about an internal report.
RT contacted the United Nations, but they referred us back to Mr. Geeky. The story first came to light when former UN Chief Prosecutor Carla Del Ponte published her book this year. But for Russian journalist Zhenya Baronov, the facts are not surprising. He's been working on this story since the war, and the latest information just confirms what he suspected all along.
The first serious information came in 2006. There was a town murdery at the administrative border between Kosovo and Serbia. And at that time, international forces were handing over the remains of the Serbs that were exhumed to Kosovo. Among the relatives, there was this woman who hysterically tried to tell journalists who gathered there that her husband had been gutted and his organs had been taken to one of the hospitals in the city of Gnjilani in Kosovo. His parts had been sold and his remains had been buried in the courtyard of that hospital. At that moment, everybody thought she was insane, and everybody thought so until April this year.
In November, Kosovo police arrested 2 citizens, one Israeli and one Turkish, for illegal organ trafficking. They're under investigation, and maybe from them, new light will emerge on the story. UNMIC is pulling out of Kosovo and being replaced by a European mission. But this does not mean that the ghosts of the past will be leaving with it. Today, with the vying for political power inside the Albanian society in Kosovo, it's likely that more and more information about these war crimes will be coming forward. Paul Slier, RT.